Evening, people. Morning. Heinrich. It's evening here. Hey, Harry. The link's in the description if you guys haven't seen it yet. It's not the best looking picture, but yeah, it's pre-HD. So, hey, Sam. How's it going, man? I've never seen this game. I've never watched it. From memory, it's the one where they said like England somehow played into Australia's hands, if it's the one I'm thinking of. But 1991, I wasn't even 10, so the memory ain't the best. Chicken wings, not first, nah, man. Not quite. Not quite. Have any of you guys ever actually seen this game? I think I've definitely seen highlights, but I sure have never watched the full game. Never. Hello, Sean and is it Akil? How's it going, guys? How's lockdown? Everybody all good for groceries? Toilet paper? Milk, bread, eggs? Just seen highlights, yeah. Harry's seen it. It's a good one, nice. Your grandpa went to see it. Nice. That's awesome. How far? I haven't started yet. I'll start in a few minutes. I've put the link to the one I'm going to watch in the description. It's an hour and 38 minutes, 50 seconds. I'll just start from the beginning. So if any of you guys want to chuck it on at the same time, you can do so. The link's in the description. So yeah, despite being a World Cup final, I think the first World Cup final I think I saw was 95. I think I was still a bit young to watch this stuff when I was a kid. I don't know, watched it. A favorite final. A favorite final is probably 2015. That one was pretty good. All Blacks won. Wasn't totally one-sided. Wallabies had a comeback. Ben Smith got yellow carded, so that one was pretty good. Got no toilet paper, only a bum gun. I don't want to know what a bum gun is. But either way. Yep. Second day in lockdown in South Africa. Yeah, second day in New Zealand as well, bro. Second day. Although I don't think our lockdown is as bad as, well, not as bad, but as strict as some of the other places. Because ours, you can still go out. You can still go to the supermarket. You can still go to the park for a walk. You're just not allowed to get close to people. 2 meters, you got to be away. 95 was Sean's first as well. Yeah. 95, I distinctly remember hopping in my parents' bed because they had TV in the bedroom and it was in the middle of the night and I was allowed to get up and watch the game. So I distinctly remember that and being knackered and being gutted. But yeah, I certainly don't remember anything about 87 or 91. Not a thing. Not a thing. Kind of scary to see how New Zealand is on lockdown. Queen Street is completely dead. Yeah, I haven't actually been out. I was stupidly in the South Island a few days ago because my wife and I were going on a trip. And right as we were about to leave, the Prime Minister was like, don't do any domestic travel. And I was like, oh, it's too late. I'm going to go. We've only got like 20 cases or 10 or something. It'll be fine. 2 days later, she's like, bro, we're locking down. So I had to come back very quickly. I don't think I've been out since I got back. Only allowed to go to shops, doctors, pharmacies, or if you go to work permit. Okay, that sounds pretty similar then. We're allowed to go to shops to buy food, pharmacies to buy medicine, and to exercise. So you're not supposed to go like surfing in case someone needs to help you and you've got the virus or they've got the virus. Catch it from each other. So you're allowed to go for a walk. You're allowed to stay local, but that's about it. And essential workers are still allowed to work. I must ask, did the Blues get to have Spud Night before lockdown? There was no Spud Night. We missed out on Spud Night. No Spuds. Terrible. There were no Spuds. Just joined. No, I haven't started the game yet. I'll start in a couple of minutes. We've just hit 9 o'clock. The link is in the description if you haven't found the game. So I've got it loaded up at 1 second in at the minute. There were old games on the sports channel today. It was really good. Yeah, the Sky has been playing old games all day. They just played the Highlanders Crusaders final from like '99. I didn't see all of it because I put my daughter to bed. But yeah, it's a bit of a blast from the past. What was your favorite game from 2019 World Cup? Japan Ireland was pretty good, just in terms of the drama. And I seem to remember Australia Fiji was all right. Yeah, there's a few. I'd have to have a look through and jog my memory. 2 Cents is the best YouTuber. Don't know about the best. He's all right. He's all right. A couple of people got arrested yesterday for walking their dogs and riding bicycles. The New Zealand police have taken a softly approach. So they're telling people, just they're checking in on people rather than telling them to do anything. And yeah, they're trying not to kind of be seen as harassing, but I think as time goes by, it will get stricter. Up the Wobblies. Yeah, I think they'll do all right in this one, to be honest. Would have been the perfect lockdown for those spuds. I know, spuds have been hard to buy, man. People are being panic buying the spuds in New Zealand. All Japanese games were great to watch. Indeed, wholesale's open. Okay, I haven't been anywhere because we had a decent supply of food. Like, we didn't panic buy, but we had enough food for a while, so we should be all good. I managed to book in a slot online, not to do delivery, but I'm going to go and get some Pack and Save, which is the cheap grocer. So I managed to sneak in a slot, so I'll go get my groceries then. So yeah, should be all right. Charlie, still working. Yeah, I'm back to work on Monday. My job is an office job, so I'm able to work remotely, but I've been on annual leave this whole week just gone, so I haven't done any work. So, yeah, back to work on Monday. How that's going to work remotely, don't know. We'll have to see how busy it is. The kids are going to be here, which is the hard part. I'm not sure I'm supposed to have like any meetings or do anything with 2 kids under 5 just running riot. We'll see. That jersey looks pretty cool. It is a pretty cool one, the Aussie Indigenous one. Right, let's get this game started. Link is in the description. I think I should be able to put it here. That's the one I'm watching. It's not very clear, but it's 1991. So I'm going to put it on in a minute if you guys want to watch it. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I know who wins. But yeah, I haven't seen it. So let's get cracking. National anthems and everything. I'm not going to skip. I'm just going to start from the beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Favorite World Cup. Oh, I thought the one just gone was pretty awesome, man. Oh, that's grainy footage. It's a bit flashy. Campese. Don't know that guy. Tim Horan. Oh, vaguely familiar. Man, I need to look at the lineups. Oh, man, is that Ewan McKenzie? Far out. Most of my family aren't working. A lot of them work for airlines. Oh, damn. Yeah, it's not the best to be working right now. Let's go Australia. Have you seen many people out in Auckland recently? I was down at the bays. There are tons of people. I haven't even been out, bro. I've been to the front yard, and that's it. So, yeah, I will end up taking the kids out at some point. But, yeah, I haven't been nowhere. I've definitely seen, when I've been in the front yard playing with the kids, a lot more foot traffic than usual. And I live on kind of a non-main road. So I think people are feeling cooped up, so they want to go for a walk. So there's definitely more people walking about. English national anthem just started. Excited for this, even if I've watched it already. Nice. Good man. I'm excited because I've legit never seen it before. And it's a Rugby World Cup, so why not? What happened in the 1991 World Cup? Because I was only 12. Yeah, I would have been what, like 9? So, yeah. Definitely didn't watch this one. Oh, Michael Liner, true. Nick Farr Jones. Oh, yeah, I had the lineups. Oh, there's the lineups there. England. Underwood, I know. Guscott, I know. Carling, yes. Moore, yes. The other names, not so much. Where's the Aussie lineup? Campese, Horan, Farr Jones, Liner, Little. Yeah, Offengawe, Eels, Kearns, McKenzie. Yeah, I definitely know more of the Aussie guys, which kind of makes sense seeing as I'm a Kiwi. Yeah, Tim Horan's playing 12. I am at 2 minutes, 52 seconds. First World Cup I followed was 2003 when I was 11. Yeah, I think after about 10 years old, that's probably when you can probably start following them. Like 95, I would have been 12, maybe 11. So that's about the right age. Worst final ever. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't seen it. The referee certainly got an interesting uniform. East Auckland has been a bit normal, but slowing down. Okay. That was a good Wallaby side. Mate, you ain't kidding. There's a lot of big names in that Wallaby side. What do you think of Australia's chances going forward? I've got a strange amount of faith in kickoff. Cheers, guys. I'm going to crack a bit of beer. It's World Cup time, 1991, so we're going Heineken. I know a lot of you guys don't like Heineken. Heineken's all right. It's not terrible. Any World Cup that Aussie won is the worst World Cup. Oh, come on. I don't know how long this lockdown's going to go, but we may end up seeing more World Cups at this rate, guys. I'm quite keen to go watch 95 again because I've only seen 95 once when I was like 11. 2007 was the worst. Anyway, cheers, guys. Hope everyone is staying safe. Lineout time. Maybe I should keep stats on these lineouts because they don't do the stats. Oh, I love the one-handed throws. This footage may end up causing an epileptic fit with the way the footage is so flashy, but anyway. Mistake from the Aussies earlier. They kicked it out on the full. All Blacks fan 2019 was the best. Yeah, that was a pretty good final. I think it lived up to the tournament. Don't drink too much. Don't worry, man. I'm too old to be drinking too much. Oh, man. The Aussies are running right with the English line out. '87 was the best. Again, I've seen hardly any of the '87 because I was still quite a little fella. I reckon we ain't getting any rugby until the Wales AB's game. Bro, I hope that one goes ahead. I hope that one stays on track. Oh, neither side can win their own lineout. Lineout stats are 0% for both sides from 3 lineouts thus far. "2019 was the best for me. Scored our first ever final try. True. Kept the World Cup final record 100% against a pretty awesome England side." Yeah, I can agree with all that. Man, Guscott is so young. Aussie lineout. And they've won one. Yes, I'm keeping stats on the lineouts. Cheers, I'm drinking Milo. Okay, bro. Cheers to your Milo. Typical Blues are doing well. Something has to happen. I know. Lots of sides are thinking that right now. Liverpool fans are thinking the same. I'm sure there are other sides as well. Do you like the Australian team or the England team better? I think because geographically we're so much closer to Australia and I watch Super Rugby and not the Premiership, I think I'm naturally closer to the Aussies. I've been to Australia. I've never been to England. I've got Aussie mates more than I've got English mates. So probably Australia. I know a lot of Kiwis don't like the Aussies, but I don't know. I got the Anzac thing going on, so I'd have to say Australia. The way these guys are playing is so much faster. I agree, man. That's one thing I noticed in the 1987 final when I watched it the other day. It was just like high pace. There was no mucking around. Scrums, set them. Lineouts, do them. Like, get going. Do not muck around. Nowadays, everything is so slow and deliberate in comparison. Lineouts had no lifting then. That's right. No lifting. Maybe that's part of the reason they were able to do them quicker. Did you hear about NRL continued? I thought NRL was off, like all the other sports. Man, these lineouts are hard to win when you can't jump, like can't lift. Drinking water, stay hydrated. Yeah, man, drinking water is definitely good for you. That's preferable. How's lockdown? I'm spending a lot of time with my kids, which is both a good and a bad thing. Like, it's cool to play with your kids, but kids also drive you nuts. So, yeah, it's cool. Everyone is happy and healthy, well fed, and thus far not sick. So, can't complain. Can't complain at all. Mm. My grandpa always complains about rugby nowadays. He say it's just about kicking the ball and penalties. It's interesting you say that because one of my mates when I was living in China, Aussie guy, he was a league guy, and he used to complain about how rugby was too much about milking penalties and taking penalty kicks and stuff. But then I guess people watch AFL and say it's too much kicking as well. I guess it's just all about comparison. Can England win this line out? It must be pretty hard to win your own line out when you can't lift anybody. It's hard to set as much of a move. Oh. Ooh, England are actually looking pretty slick at the minute. And they've knocked it on. I'm a Lions fan and I'm happy that Super Rugby is off. At least you're not losing. It's not been the best season for the Lions, but you guys have been bleeding players for years. Did you go to any of the games in 2011 Rugby World Cup? 2011, I was living in China, but I made a point of coming back for the World Cup. I figured if you're going to go to any World Cup, you might as well go to the one in your own country. So I went to the opening game, New Zealand-Tonga. I went to New Zealand-France in the pool stage, not the final. I went to, was it Fiji and Samoa? That game was terrible. I went to, no, it was Fiji and Tonga, sorry. That was terrible. I went to Aussie and Ireland with my Aussie mate, where they lost. Remember the Aussies lost? And Aussie against Italy, where the Aussies struggled in the first half but managed to beat them. So, yes, I went to a few of the games. I also had tickets to England, Scotland, but I gave them to my dad because I was already heading back to work in China. Oh, Adam. Adam's just bought me a beer. Cheers, man. I hope you're doing well in the lockdown. Cheers. Thank you so much for that. Have a beer. You're gonna put the game on the screen? Nah. There's a link there in the description if you want to like dual screen it though. Hope 2023 World Cup goes on. Hopefully we should be all good by 2023. Where was the final played? I think that's Twickenham, although it looks very different then. This is going to be a series because if it is such a good one, I hope. Bro, I'm really looking forward to 95 World Cup final. I definitely want to do this for 95 because I said earlier, I've only seen it once. I saw it live in 95 and that was it. I've never seen it again. Partly because I didn't want to watch it again because I remember having bad memories about that as a child. But man, I'm fascinated to watch that one again. Have you watched Ireland, Australia 91 quarterfinal? Nah, I'm starting with the finals first, but then I'm going to move on to a bunch of classic matches depending on how long we go with the lockdown. Skull, indeed. I went to Fiji and Samoa in 2011 Rugby World Cup. Was it Fiji Samoa? Or was it Fiji Tonga? No, it was Fiji Samoa. You're right, and it was terrible, right? It was a bad game. Where did I live in China, bro? Where did that virus come from? Wuhan. I lived there 7 years. 7. There was no virus back in those days. What's the oldest rugby game you ever watched? In full? Maybe now it's the 1987 final. I don't think I've seen any games in full. Like I've seen highlights of loads of old games, but I've never really sat down and watched old games in full. Morning, Darth. How's it going? What time am I up to in the vid? It is 14:30. 14:30. Australia have just kicked out. One of the Aussie guys has got blood rolling down his face. Samuel Felix. All right, man. Cheers. Good to have you along as well. Thank you, man. What's pen? PEN. What currency is that? I don't know. Either way, man. Doesn't matter. It's much appreciated. Roebuck's getting his eyes cleaned up. Twickenham indeed. Don't watch the 95 final. Bro, I have to watch the 95 final. Jonah getting shut down. All those classic kind of All Blacks guys. Drop goals galore at the end. I remember all that stuff. My brother and dad went to the 2011 World Cup quarterfinal. Nice. I was way back in China by that point. I went to as many games as I could given the limited leave that I had. I can't remember much about Fiji Samoa. I was like 9 years old. I remember being really pumped that it was going to be like a really open and attacking game, but I remember it being kind of horrendous. Oh, man, Samuel, what things you like about rugby league than rugby union? Cheers, man. Good question. Thank you so much. What do I like about league more than union? I'm a union guy, so that's a tough question. I'm naturally inclined to go with union stuff. From memory, the way league does bans, if you get banned, you get banned for a number of games rather than a number of weeks. I think that makes more sense because if you've got a bye, then the week ban doesn't mean nothing. So the fact that you get banned for X number of games, I think, is entirely sensible and the rugby union should do that. That's the first one that comes to mind. Is there anything else? Like I would say the big hits, but they're trying to get the safety thing going with rugby union anyway. I guess it doesn't. It's probably got higher ball in play time than union. Like rugby union has a lot of stoppages, but yeah. It's going to sting you to watch the 94 World Cup final because the Springboks beat us by drop goals. I know. I remember Mertz. Like I was literally. It must be. I mean, I got older memories than that, but it's one of the clearest memories I got of my childhood. Is watching Mertz kick for a drop goal and going like, please, 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 it's got to happen. Like thinking it's destiny. I'm a kid. I've got up to watch a game in the middle of the night. Nah, didn't go over. I went to the 2015 Cricket World Cup final. Who was in the 2015 Cricket World Cup final? I've only watched the 1995 final through Invictus, not watching the live game. All right, we'll have to do a live one for the 95 Cup final as well. It's a tight game. Like both codes. Yeah, I can certainly appreciate some of the stuff about League, even if I'm more of a union guy. I think the NRL is better than Super, but I love Test union games. I got to admit, another thing I do like about League, there seems to be more parity than union. Like the bottom NRL team has more of a chance of beating one of the better NRL teams than like the Crusaders losing to the Sunwolves, I feel. Rugby union there's fewer upsets, and that makes it more predictable. I like upsets. It makes the game more interesting. That's why Japan-Ireland was such an interesting game and all that kind of stuff. A lot of kicking so far in this game, I've got to admit. Rugby league is like beer without the alcohol. Hey, 2 Cents, what positions did you play in school? Did you have any aspirations? Bro, when I was in school, I was very skinny. I played cricket. I played rugby at lunchtime casually, and I was okay with my mates. But whenever the first 15 guys played, I got absolutely hammered, so I didn't play to any level at all. Because, yeah, I didn't have the build for it. I'm tall enough, just not big enough, like not bulky enough, so... Yeah, I had aspirations of being the top flanker. My dad wanted me to be a flanker, but then my mum was like, bro, he's skinny. Don't let him play rugby. So there you go. I played bull rush and stuff if you got that where you're from. That was fun. I was okay. The bull. Oh, 2015 is when New Zealand lost to Australia in the cricket. That's right. Still get flashbacks about the 95 final. I feel you. NRL is more popular than Super Rugby and more intense. International tournaments of rugby are way more interesting than rugby league. That's probably fair. That is probably fair. Super Rugby is generally pretty predictable. Top teams, generally, same teams kind of win, I guess. Maybe the NRL is similar. Maybe there's more variety in teams that make the playoffs in the NRL than Super Rugby. But yeah, international league just doesn't have the number of teams necessary, really. England's lineout is not going well. If you guys aren't watching, I'm watching at 21 minutes now. Still nil. How far into the game? They don't show the time, so I'm not sure how far into the game I am. I would say about 15 minutes. Neither side's really gotten on top. There's been a lot of kicking back and forth. Yeah. It was a good game, but the only problem was I was around these drunk guys who were in fights like a 10-year-old. Not good. Competition is much better in league. The parity, yeah, and that's why I like other sports like the ice hockey. Like honestly, the worst team can beat the best team, but in union it doesn't happen that much. Although rugby is getting better with the parity, at least at international level. If you want to learn the two codes, league is like learning drafts, union is like learning to play chess. I guess that's fair. Rugby union is a bit more complicated, but I can equally get into having a good game of drafts. I'm probably better at drafts than I am at chess. I don't have the brain for chess. Despite the glasses, I don't have the brain for it. Yeah, it is bad when you get people around you being idiots at the ground. Cricket's worse for that because you got more time to get real drunk, hey? Man, they actually have stats up in this game, which is amazing. In 87, they didn't have any stats. They just said that England's territory is like 70%. And which position do you think this teams would end up in a World Cup final now? It's really hard to say. These guys were amateurs, and the size of these guys does not compare with the size of guys nowadays. Although I would say the skill levels are probably not that different, man. I watched the 87 game, and these guys were offloading and passes behind the back. So it was the same stuff we're used to. It's just they weren't as big. The game has changed in terms of the rules. And like if our guys nowadays had to play this game, they would get a big surprise when someone tried to ruck them off the ball. Bullrush was great until the teachers banned it. Oh. Teachers banned bull rush in your school. I don't think they ever banned it in my school. Maybe they did. I certainly remember playing it up until high school. We made up our own games, I guess, as alternatives.